1961 often hides in the long shadow of louder cinematic revolutions, yet it quietly delivered films that shimmer with risk, reinvention, and star power in transition. This was a year when old Hollywood elegance collided with modern anxieties, when epics stretched across vast landscapes, while intimate dramas dissected personal fear. Legends gave some of their final performances, comedians pushed physical craft to surreal extremes, and family entertainment experimented with spectacle and heart. Genres overlapped in unexpected ways, blending romance with melancholy, adventure with myth, and social commentary with glossy studio polish. These films may not dominate everyday conversations, but their influence lingers in craft, performance, and ambition. Hidden within 1961 are stories that deserve rediscovery, not as curiosities, but as vibrant works that reveal an industry testing its limits. Revisiting them uncovers a cinematic crossroads where tradition met transformation and left behind remarkable, overlooked treasures.
El Cid. El Cid revived the grand historical epic with sweeping ambition and international scope. Directed by Anthony Mann and starring Charlton Heston and Sofia Loren, the film chronicles the legendary Spanish knight Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar. Shot across vast Spanish landscapes, its battle sequences emphasize scale without sacrificing character motivation. Miklos Rosa's thunderous score enhances the film's sense of destiny and honor. Rather than presenting a simple war narrative, El Cid explores political loyalty, cultural division, and personal integrity. Heston brings stoic gravity, while Loren's performance grounds the spectacle in emotional stakes. Massive sets and thousands of extras reinforce authenticity, reflecting a commitment to practical filmmaking rarely matched today. Though overshadowed by other epics, El Cid demonstrates meticulous craftsmanship and classical storytelling. It remains a testament to old-school production values, blending romance, warfare, and moral conviction into a sweeping cinematic tapestry deserving renewed appreciation.
The Ladies' Man. The Ladies' Man showcases Jerry Lewis at the height of his physical comedy innovation. Directing and starring, Lewis constructed an enormous dollhouse-like set that allowed the camera to glide through multiple rooms seamlessly. This architectural marvel became a playground for choreographed chaos, blending slapstick precision with surreal humor. Lewis's naive protagonist navigates a boarding house filled with women, creating escalating misunderstandings and visual gags. The film experiments with color design and long takes, revealing Lewis's ambition beyond simple clowning. Beneath exaggerated antics lies commentary on masculinity and vulnerability, filtered through absurdity. While critics initially dismissed his style, later filmmakers recognized his influence on visual comedy and spatial storytelling. The Ladies' Man stands as both comedic spectacle and technical experiment, proving that physical humor can coexist with cinematic craftsmanship. Its bold set design and relentless energy secure its place as an underappreciated comic achievement.
Pocketful of Miracles. Pocketful of Miracles marked Frank Capra's final film, blending sentimentality with modern studio gloss. A remake of his earlier Lady for a Day, the story follows a street vendor transformed into high society to protect her daughter's illusions. Bette Davis brings sharp wit and warmth, while Glenn Ford's gangster adds unexpected tenderness. Capra's direction balances fairy tale optimism with contemporary pacing, attempting to bridge eras of filmmaking. Lavish costumes and urban backdrops create visual contrast between poverty and privilege. Though reception was mixed, the film reveals Capra's enduring belief in compassion and communal effort. Its narrative of reinvention echoes classic Hollywood themes of hope and dignity. Pocketful of Miracles may lack the cultural impact of Capra's earlier classics, but it remains a charming farewell from a director who shaped American cinema's moral imagination for decades.
The Misfits. The Misfits stands as a haunting farewell to two icons, Marilyn Monroe and Clark Gable, capturing vulnerability beneath desert skies. Written by Arthur Miller and directed by John Huston, the film strips away glamour to expose loneliness and fragile masculinity. Shot on location in Nevada, its stark black and white cinematography mirrors emotional desolation. Gable's aging cowboy and Monroe's drifting divorcee feel painfully real, as if the camera caught private confessions rather than scripted dialogue. Montgomery Clift adds quiet sorrow, deepening the ensemble's sense of loss. Production difficulties and personal struggles bled into performances, giving scenes raw authenticity. Rather than romanticizing the American West, the film questions myths of freedom and toughness. Initially misunderstood, the Misfits gained recognition as a poignant reflection on fading eras. It captures Hollywood legends confronting mortality, making it both a narrative about lost souls and an elegy for a disappearing cinematic age.
The Absent-Minded Professor transformed family comedy with inventive special effects and buoyant imagination. Directed by Robert Stevenson and starring Fred MacMurray, the film introduced flubber, a gravity-defying substance that turned ordinary basketball games into airborne chaos. Disney's technical team blended practical wire work with optical effects, creating sequences that felt magical yet tangible. MacMurray's distracted scientist balances eccentric humor with heartfelt sincerity, preventing the premise from becoming mere gimmick. The film's brisk pacing and inventive gags demonstrate how creativity can elevate simple storytelling. Beyond slapstick, it celebrates curiosity and experimentation, presenting scientific wonder as playful rather than intimidating. Its success inspired sequels and remakes, proving its enduring charm. The Absent-Minded Professor captures early 1960s optimism about innovation, merging domestic warmth with imaginative spectacle. It stands as a reminder that family entertainment can combine technical ingenuity and narrative heart without losing its sense of joyous discovery.
Paris Blues. Paris Blues merges romance, jazz, and social commentary against the backdrop of expatriate life. Directed by Martin Ritt, it stars Paul Newman and Sidney Poitier as musicians navigating love and artistic ambition in France. The film's smoky club scenes pulse with Duke Ellington's score, giving authenticity to its musical atmosphere. Newman exudes restless charisma, while Poitier conveys thoughtful restraint, creating a dynamic contrast. The interracial themes, subtle yet significant, reflect shifting cultural conversations of the early 1960s. Shot on location in Paris, the cinematography captures bohemian freedom and emotional uncertainty. Rather than offering simple romantic closure, the narrative grapples with choices between passion and stability. Paris Blues stands as both love story and time capsule, preserving a moment when jazz symbolized creative liberation. Its blend of performance, politics, and atmosphere makes it a quietly resonant entry in 1961's cinematic landscape.
The Children's Hour confronted taboo subject matter with sober intensity. Directed by William Wyler and starring Audrey Hepburn and Shirley MacLaine, the film centers on a malicious rumor that devastates two women running a school. Wyler's restrained direction avoids sensationalism, allowing tension to build through implication and silence. Hepburn embodies moral resilience, while MacLaine delivers a layered performance filled with suppressed anguish. The stark black and white photography underscores the story's gravity, emphasizing isolation and social judgment. At a time when censorship limited explicit discussion, the film's courage lay in addressing destructive prejudice head-on. Its emotional climax remains devastating, illustrating how lies can metastasize into irreversible tragedy. The Children's Hour challenged audiences to confront intolerance within respectable society. Though controversial upon release, it stands as a landmark drama that pushed Hollywood toward more honest explorations of identity and societal cruelty.
The Parent Trap. The Parent Trap delighted audiences with technical ingenuity and wholesome charm. Haley Mills performs dual roles as separated twins who conspire to reunite their divorced parents. Director David Swift used split-screen photography and meticulous editing to create seamless interactions between the identical sisters. Mills differentiates each twin through posture and accent, showcasing remarkable versatility for a young actor. The film balances mischievous humor with sincere family longing, grounding its fantasy in emotional truth. Bright cinematography and lively pacing keep the story buoyant, while supporting performances add warmth. Its innovative visual effects became a template for future dual-role comedies. Beyond gimmickry, The Parent Trap celebrates reconciliation and childhood determination. The film's enduring popularity inspired later remakes, but the original retains a sweetness and craftsmanship emblematic of early 1960s family cinema at its most imaginative and heartfelt.
Mysterious Island. Mysterious Island expands Jules Verne's adventure into vibrant fantasy spectacle. Directed by Cy Enfield, the film follows Civil War escapees stranded on an island filled with gigantic creatures. Ray Harryhausen's stop-motion animation brings colossal crabs and other beasts to life with tactile artistry. Bernard Herrmann's sweeping score amplifies wonder and danger, enhancing the film's mythic tone. Shot in Spain, its rugged landscapes provide convincing exotic terrain. The ensemble cast conveys camaraderie and ingenuity as they confront survival challenges. Practical effects blend with matte paintings, showcasing pre-digital imagination at its peak. Rather than relying solely on monsters, the narrative emphasizes scientific curiosity and resilience. Mysterious Island captures a spirit of adventurous optimism characteristic of classic fantasy filmmaking. Its handcrafted visuals and earnest performances preserve a sense of awe that continues to inspire admirers of practical cinematic magic.
Atlantis, the Lost Continent. Atlantis, the Lost Continent dives into mythological spectacle with bold studio ambition. Directed by George Pal, the film imagines the fabled civilization as a technologically advanced society on the brink of collapse. Elaborate costumes, ornate sets, and vibrant color design create an otherworldly atmosphere. The narrative blends romance, political intrigue, and disaster, reflecting Cold War anxieties beneath fantasy trappings. While special effects appear modest by modern standards, they embody inventive craftsmanship of the era. The film's cautionary tone warns against unchecked power and moral decay, giving myth contemporary relevance. Though not a major commercial success, it represents Hollywood's willingness to gamble on imaginative world-building. Atlantis stands as a curious artifact of transitional cinema, merging sword and sandal traditions with speculative science fiction elements in a visually ambitious experiment.
1961's Hidden Gems reveal a cinematic landscape balancing farewell and forward motion. Established legends delivered vulnerable performances, while emerging techniques reshaped genre expectations. From desert elegies and historical epics to family comedies and socially daring dramas, the year offered diversity that defies easy categorization. Practical effects, bold themes, and international settings expanded storytelling horizons without abandoning classical craft. These films demonstrate how experimentation can occur quietly within mainstream frameworks, influencing future generations without immediate acclaim. Revisiting them uncovers artistry that thrives beyond box office memory, reminding viewers that innovation often hides between celebrated milestones. The emotional honesty of intimate dramas, the scale of epics, and the ingenuity of fantasy adventures coexist within this singular year. Together, they form a mosaic of ambition and transition, proving that 1961 deserves recognition not as a footnote, but as a vibrant chapter in cinema history.